Welcome back to the Green Screen, the only UNT sports news show. I'm your favorite host, Evanson Frank Love. We're so sorry we missed you guys last week. Our producer, Seth Wickman, he took us on vacation. It was amazing. And unfortunately, since we missed that last week, this is our final episode of the semester. But before we get into that, let's talk about some exciting sports updates. We're going to start off with our women's softball team and our softball reporter, Matt Mehl. I know you're very excited to talk about softball today.
I'm super excited to talk about softball, but I'm a little heartbroken because it is our last show together, Evanson. But I'm also feeling pretty well rested from the vacation that Seth took us on. Now let's get into some UNT softball. We were able to get our get back on Tarleton State and avenge an earlier loss in the season, winning Wednesday night 8-2. The game was super close until the 4th and 5th inning, where UNT was able to score 7 of their 8 runs in the game and just looked phenomenal doing it, only allowing 4 hits the entire game and had a team batting average of almost 300 for the game as well. So not only were we not letting them get on base, we were getting on base at a heavy clip. This win was again on the backs of Madison Conley and Elizabeth Moffitt, who both hit a home run in this game. And this is like the 4th game I've gone to where if one of them hits a home run, the other one is not far behind, which is definitely something that we need to continue going into these later games. Brady Harmon also is a heavy hitter. She hit a home run as well, and whenever our 3 best hitters all hit a home run, it's almost an impossible team to beat. Annika Anderson pitched 6 innings, striking out 7, 1 below her career high. She looked amazing today. You know, they didn't let her finish out the game because she needs a little bit of rest going into these crucial last 2 series of the season. She wasn't alone, however. She had some great defense behind her. Eva Daniels, a freshman who's really been coming along, especially on the defensive side of the ball. She made a great catch in the 5th inning, a diving catch that kind of stunned Tarleton State and kept their momentum from getting too high and maybe having them lead a possible comeback into the game. When I talked to Conley after the game, she talked about her and Moffitt's relationship. She says that no matter who's batting above who, they want to, and when they see the other get a hit, they want to drive the other in. She said it motivates them just a little extra. She also talked about how they feed off of each other's energy and have kind of the mentality of, well, she did that, so now I have to go do it. When I talked to Coach White, what he wanted to get out of this game, he wants to get confidence going into the last 2 series of the season, which are very, again, like I said, crucial. If we play well and we win both series, there's a very high chance that we win the American season regular season conference championship. Definitely needed this win after a very lackluster weekend in Memphis, losing 1-0 in the first game, winning 4-2 in the second game, and then losing 9-7 in the last game. So all games were pretty close. I mean, if our pitching is giving up 1 run, we need to go win that game. So that's definitely something that we don't want to see again, especially getting this late into the season. The team needed this type of game because our last 2 series are against the 2 teams that are tied for first currently above us in the American Conference standings. Wichita State is currently on a 9-game win streak, and they come here, which is good for us because we're 12-3 at home. We look like the 07 Yankees at home, which is good. On the road, however, we do not look very good. We're 9-8 on the season, and unfortunately, that last series will be in Tampa against USF, who is always up there in softball, always up there in most sports. They're going to be a really good team, really hard to beat. But I have faith in our team, especially this first series. If we can gain some momentum, get a couple wins, win the series, and have a lot to play for in the last series against USF in Tampa to end the season.
It's been like a common theme for most of our Mean Green sports teams. Whenever they go away, they seem to always have trouble winning those games. But like you said, come home, come here to Denton. We'll show them what we got. And hopefully our Mean Green team will do that for our tennis team. Let's move on. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's move on to our men's football team. Our men's football reporter, Jayden Rudd, he's here in the studio. Unfortunately, he wasn't on vacation with us because he did have to go to the football spring showcasing. He got to see, you know, what's going to happen next for our football team? What are some previews? Who's going to be the starting quarterback? Jayden, what's going on with our football team?
Thank you, Evanson. It feels great to be back into the studio. Long weekend with football, taking video, pictures, gathering information over this upcoming season. And the big question going in is, how does the Mean Green redo that year last year? You know, first 12-win season, a record-breaking year. This year's team is there are a lot of questions. It's spring ball. We have the whole summer. We're still at a quarterback battle with 3 quarterbacks. We have a great tight end coming in, Max Reese coming in from Mississippi State, as we see him right here, who was tearing up the defense. But when you look at the quarterback battle, each quarterback did their own thing separately. Taven Jackson, you know, the veteran coming in with 4 years of experience already, threw 8 for 14, 128 yards. Chasen did a Eastern Carolina transfer who coming in off of a great game to win ECU a bowl game last year. 4 for 9, 40 yards, but he can run. He had a rushing touchdown during team play. And then Chris Jimerson, our redshirt freshman, who is a hometown boy coming in from Fort Worth. He had a great day with 7 for 9, 116 yards, and 1 touchdown. Now we look at the rushing attack. Jayden Bex is returning, but we did not see Jaheim White play, who's a star running back transfer coming in from West Virginia. They did a lot of O-lineman work, gunner work, focusing on their special teams a lot, because we know we have a whole new special team staff and kicker coming in from Appalachian State, and he went 4 for 4 during his time. But again, the big question is, who is the quarterback? We really don't know yet. You know, Neil Brown emphasized how all 3 quarterbacks played pretty well. They're talented, and they all do their own things differently. But he does believe this team has a chance. And even Chasen did emphasize that, you know, coming in, he wanted a better opportunity to play somewhere else. He, you know, coming to see how UNT did last year, and ECU, who is a conference foe, he did say, you know, they all competed well, but it is rare to have 3 talented QBs and, you know, who are very talented on a team and not have a front runner yet. So that's something that's going to come later into the year, but did emphasize that. With that, it does help in the long run, because now you have a competition going through fall and the summer camp, but you have to be prepared for Indiana opening season. There is I believe there's a lot of talent on this team. You know, defense looked great this past weekend, and offensive line looks great. Their transfer portal brought in a lot of guys over 6'5", so they beefed up that, and I do think they have the opportunity to be better than last year's offensive line. Thank you, Evanson. Back to you.
Thank you, Jayden. Here's another good question. How is this football team going to look going into the regular season? But we won't get those answers yet, probably not until, you know, closer to summer. That's when we'll find out. But another question that I have is about our most athletic athletes that we have here on campus. That's going to be our UNT track and field team. And our track and field reporter, Brandon Martinez, he's here at the desk with me. Brandon, you know, you weren't here on vacation with us, but I'm pretty sure you know a lot about these most athletic athletes, isn't that right?
I'm pretty sure it might be track, you know, a lot of running, a lot of jumping, a lot of activities, but, you know, who knows? But to recap, last weekend, you know, we had the Bill Schmidt invite. We had 23 seniors celebrated, as well as 23 event wins and champions across the 2-day meet. Despite tough conditions, you know, the weather was pretty bad. But we did perform, and we did live up to the expectations. Senior Mackenzie Quell led the way in the field events, winning the javelin with a personal best throw of 50.30 meters. Freshman Olivia Hildebrand added another win in the discus with a personal record of 49.93 meters, which was outstanding. On the track, junior Rel de Graffenried took first in the 100-meter hurdles with a time of 13.88 seconds, while freshman Layla Hudson won the 400 hurdles in a personal best of, you know, she had a personal best. We're just going to leave it at that. But senior Jalen Washington turned in one of the top performances of the weekend, winning the men's 100-meter dash in 10.24 seconds, the 17th fastest time in the nation this year, which is, you know, outstanding. 17th is immense. So what's next? Well, North Texas returns to action next weekend at the Michael Johnson Invitational, which is currently this weekend, actually, in Waco, before hosting the Americans Conference Outdoor Championships in mid-May. But before that, we do have SMU the weekend after. So we do have some events lined up. You know, I think we're going to do really well in the Conference Outdoor Championships. We've had a lot of great results, a lot of, you know, outstanding finishes. Whether it's in the hurdles and discus throw and the shot meters. We've had a lot of performances. You know, we had some national level performances as well. So I'm very excited about that, and I think we're just going to keep going up and up. But that's pretty much all I got for you today, Evanson. I'm taking it back to you.
Yeah, you know, when is that invitational? Because I'm thinking about competing in that. It's an invitational, so that means anybody's allowed in there, right? I think I'd do pretty well in that, maybe. But I appreciate you on the update for that. Let's move on to our women's tennis team. Actually, we're going to move on to our golf team. Actually, excuse me, by the way, excuse me. Our men's golf team. We all know we got the update on social media that the Green Screen posted. They placed 13th in the Oak Mossy Collegiate. Our women's team. They played in the American American Conference Championship. They placed 6th out of 11 teams. Unfortunately, they were just shy from making it to the NCAA regionals. But shout out to our women's golf team, shout out to Malone Shantapanya. She had the best. She got the best place she got 6th place with the score of 220. She scored the best out of the UNT women's team. Shout out to them on an incredible season. And the head coach, Michael Akers, said that he was certainly disappointed in the first round, but the ladies showed a lot of grit and a lot of fight in the last 2 rounds, ending their season. But shout out to them. Now let's move on to another team who also had another season-ending tournament. That's going to be our women's tennis team. And our tennis reporter, Josh Landers, I know he's sad. Maybe he might be crying. Josh, how are you doing over there?
Thanks, Evanson. And unfortunately for our Mean Green tennis team, our hopes at winning the American Conference tournament fell slightly short this year. But before we get more into that, we have some more games that haven't already been covered. Firstly, I want to take 100% credit from my 4-1 win prediction that I made last show as we beat Tarleton State 4-1 on the road. The Mean Green won the doubles point for the 10th consecutive match. To start the American Conference tournament, North Texas was ranked the 6th seed, facing off against the 11th seed Memphis to start. UNT was able to rally and defeated Memphis 4-1, although the Mean Green dropped the doubles point against Memphis for the first time since March 7th. We turned around and won 4 straight singles matches to knock off the Tigers in Houston. After her historic season that saw UNT tennis win 17 matches for the first time since 2013, it all officially came to an end with a 4-1 loss at the hands of number 3 Rice in the quarterfinals of the American Conference Championship. Rice ended up at the end taking home the American Conference Championship. The Mean Green closed their season 17-8 overall, finishing a single win shy of the most wins in the modern era at North Texas. This was also the first season that UNT advanced to the quarterfinals of the conference championship since joining the American in 2013. Looking forward to next season, UNT is set to return 7 of 8 players from this season's roster, as Marina Adati is unfortunately graduating and moving on to bigger and better things. And just like basketball, UNT also has an NIT championship tournament, as North Texas attended last season. As last season we went 12-12. So the season might not be completely over for our Mean Green tennis team. But in terms of today, that's all I have. Back to Evanson at the desk.
Thank you, Josh, and thank you to everybody who has tuned in to the green screen all semester long. It has been an amazing season for our Mean Green sports teams. Shout out to all of our reporters who have done an astounding job of giving you all the updates and information that you need to stay tuned on what's going on Mean Green Sports. Also, shout out to our behind-the-scenes graphics, audio, our producers, and just everybody who's been a part of the entire show. You know, unfortunately, this is the last show of the semester, but hopefully next semester we have an even better host, because this is also the last episode that I will be doing the green screen. And hopefully we have just as good of reporters. Shout out to everybody. It's been a great semester. We will see you guys next semester. I've been your host, Evanson Frank Love. Check us out on the socials at UNT Green Screen. That's going to be on Instagram. We'll see you next semester.